show that, which is pretty gnarly.
Yeah, that was pretty weird.
But that's pretty much the only gore for the first act of the film. That's really unsettling. So it's basically all left. The story's left on the actors, and I feel like Jeff Goldblum's really good. He's very charming, very funny.
Yeah.
Gina Davis is really good, but she's always good, and I feel like their romance and stuff keeps everything like moving, or the story moving. And so when things get crazy, you really do actually feel something for Seth.
Yeah.
Jeff's character. But yeah,
I thought it was pretty cool. I really like the effects they used on him, which was when he started pulling his fingernails out and stuff.
Oh,
that was gnarly. When the goo or whatever was coming out of his hands, his skin, that was pretty messed up.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's why I argue that they need to start doing all practical effects.
Yeah, practical effects, they make a difference.
Besides, like, the fashion and the graininess of the film, this film, like, and not to say that that's bad. I love being taken back in time or whatever with that, but that's the only way you could tell that this film wasn't made now, you know what I mean? Like, it still holds up that well.
Yeah.
Like, the effects, everything, I can't say, oh, that looks cheesy or that looks, fake. It all looked great. And what I would want to see in a film like this. Not digital effects, not, like a completely CGI fly dude or whatever running around. And so it's almost like a breath of fresh air when you could put something like this on and watch how things used to be.
Yeah.
Or whatever, you know what I mean? I know it's hours and hours of prosthetic makeup, but I feel like if you're trying to make a good movie, that all makes it all is worth it in the end. When you see that final cut, like what we just watched, it's still amazing.
Yeah, it looks really good.
All these years later, I'm just like, dude, I haven't seen this movie in years. I bought the Blu-ray, the De Los Muertos edition, just so we could screen it and watch this. So we just watched the restoration of it, which it looks beautiful as well.
Yeah, it was good.
Do you want to do Swan Facts and then talk about the movie a little bit?
Yeah, some Swan Facts.
All right, cool. So I guess Goldblum was actually wearing just about 5 pounds of prosthetics in his later scenes in the film.
Jeez.
During his transformation pieces. Yeah,
that's a lot. You could tell.
Yeah.
At the end, when he was right there, that's pretty. Yeah.
It's pretty nuts, dude.
Yeah, just the way he looked. Right before his skin starts falling off and everything, he looked like a big pile of shit. It looked gruesome.
This was originally supposed to be a Tim Burton film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I guess he was attached to do it, and then something went wrong. Michael Keaton was offered the role of Seth, but he ultimately shot it down. I wonder what that would have been like, because I like Michael Keaton. He's good.
Yeah, it would have been. I think it would have been a different movie, a little different. Just the character would have been played a lot differently. Because
Goldblum's very like.
I think he's kind of like awkwardly, like just kind of. I don't know. For me, he's kind of just like. I feel like he would be a scientist. Yeah. That's the thing, is that he has that weird, like, your mind's always racing. Yeah. And, you don't know how to really like, talk to people. So, like, no social skills. Yeah, really. Exactly. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I'm getting at, yeah. Cronenberg claims Mel Brooks, who did Spaceballs, if you're familiar with that, created the tagline, "Be afraid, be very afraid." The fly vomit was made up of honey, eggs, and milk. Oh, wow. Yeah, that was pretty nasty.
Yeah, there's a scene where they use that over and over again because the thing is that I guess flies, what do? They vomit on their food.
Out, yeah, like some acid
to break down.
Yeah, to break down material so they can drink whatever they're eating.
Mm-hmm. And he does that in the movie to a real human being.
Yeah, well, that was pretty. Yeah, that scene was. Oh, that was pretty gross. Man, and you can see him like when he did it on the guy's leg.
Yeah,
and you can see him start to peel off his foot. Oh man, that was something else.
Yeah, it was the golden age of the '80s gore. You know, going back to like RoboCop and Total Recall and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And my final one, it's this was based on a short story and film from the 50s, both of the same name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, much like The Thing. Mm-hmm. They recreated this film, and it's almost like became a better film. Almost. Yeah,
that's really cool. I didn't know that.
I thought so.
Yeah. So, what did you think of the movie, Swan?
Like I said, I hadn't seen it, or I didn't remember it being that gruesome whatsoever. So I had a good time with it. I'm glad that we chose to do this one.
Yeah, it was really cool.
I don't know. It was fun seeing those because I haven't seen those actors do anything in a long time. So it was fun to kind of sit down and watch. Mm-hmm. Kind of be almost transported back into that time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fun to do that. I don't get to do that quite as often as I should, I think. But yeah, I definitely think this deserves its 91 on Rotten. It's a fun creature feature for sure. If anybody hasn't seen this yet, you should watch it before Halloween.
Yeah, definitely.
It's awesome.
Yeah. It is. It's a great movie.
And it's not, I feel like it's not, it's well paced, and they're not even trying to really be scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's more like, it's like very creepy and unsettling, you know what I mean?
Especially when he starts to transform a little. Mm-hmm. He really starts getting...
Yeah, you see a complete, 360 of his personality.
Yeah.
Where he's not this laid-back guy, and it's almost like he becomes this arrogant person because he's like, he thinks that the machine has made him better.
Yeah, he thinks he's been purified, basically. Everything that the toxins and whatever was holding him back before... through that teleportation has been purified or pulled out of his body, so he's a better human being now. And he pushes that onto his girlfriend, and he tries to force her to do the teleporting process as well. And she's already freaked out about it enough because she notices that he's acting weird or acting just different than usual.
Yeah, the makeup starts very, very subtle.
Yeah.
And you see like pock marks and different things that he didn't have before.
Yeah.
And you're like, am I imagining this, or is he really, is the transformation starting?
Yeah.
So it's very, very subtle, and then he starts being weird and kind of, being, I don't know, overzealous and trying to get her to do the transformation too. Yeah. So, but yeah, he's trying to put her or have her do the transformation too, because he's like, they have this like very eerie scene where they cut to them like basically having intercourse, and she's like, we've been doing this for hours, how do we even have fluids left to keep going? And then he gets all mad, and he's like, hey, like if you can't keep up with me and you don't want to do the transformation process, then I'll go find someone who wants to, whatever. And he basically shoves her off and runs out to go find somebody, and at that point you're like, this definitely isn't the same guy.
He's totally changed.
And it's very interesting to kind of analyze, like, well, how does this lead into, like, the fly, and why is he suddenly so athletic? Is it because flies are limber, and you know what I mean? It's very weird if you break it down in that aspect.
Yeah.
Like, why do these things make sense to the housefly? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know. Do you have any input on that?
I don't really know too much about flies. No. Besides of what I've heard from in A Bug's Life. They live for like 24 hours or 48 hours or something like that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's about it. I mean, that's the only thing. That's the only thing I took from it. But I don't know. I'm not an expert on flies or anything, so I wouldn't know if they, like, I know ants can lift up to like 30 times their body weight or whatever. But
yeah, that's another thing. When he gets to the bar where he finds his girl that he takes home, he gets in a tussle with this guy, and he's like, "Oh, I bet you $100 I can basically whoop your ass in arm wrestling."
Yeah.
And so they do it.
Yeah.
And there's this big to-do about it, and Seth, or Jeff Goldblum's character, breaks the other dude's arm.
Yeah, and you see the bone come right out of his wrist. It's gnarly.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, where does this all tie into?
I don't know. There had to be some type of reason why he becomes so athletic out of nowhere. But I guess flies are really strong. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's interesting.
But maybe that's just some way they wanted to show you of how he was transforming. But yeah, that scene where he snaps the guy's wrist in half, and you see the bone shoot out of his arm,
and then that scene is so funny because he like breaks the dude's arm, and then he gets up and he's like, oh. And he just grabs the chick.
He throws his arms up. He's like, wasn't me.
And grabs the chick and makes sure he goes with them, and he just walks out like nothing.
Yeah.
But oh man, that should be a meme or something because he's just like. Like, I didn't do nothing. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Oh dude, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah, and then after he does the first transformation, he slowly starts to eat a lot of sugar all the time.
Yeah, so that's another thing.
Yeah, that's pretty. I'm flies love sugar.
I know, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or that's something that I know.
Yeah. That was crazy though, how much sugar he put into his coffee, and then he was always eating chocolate bars.
Yeah, the chocolate bars, and then throughout the film, once he gets like way deep into his transportation, you start seeing like the empty cereal boxes and like crazy trash around. Yeah. It's just like food, but like junk food all around his
donut
apartment
boxes and stuff.
Yeah. And it's interesting to see that. I don't know what you would call it, juxtaposition or whatever, but when they start the film, he picks up on Gina Davis's character, and they go back to his kind of like weird, like old factory rundown studio thing that he goes in. But when you go inside, it is actually pretty clean. It looks
nice, yeah.
It's not bad. And after he transforms, it's like that completely goes out the window.
Yeah, it matches the outside.
Yeah, it's like super trashed and very weird and unsettling. So I thought that was fun. Anything else?
I'm trying to think. No, just when his teeth start, I think he's chewing on a pencil when he's trying to type in something on the computer, and he's chewing on a pencil, and he pulls a pencil out of his mouth, and he accidentally knocks out like 3 or 4 of his teeth. And I don't know, to me, anytime I see something like in the movies or on TV or whatever with someone losing their teeth, that really freaks me out. It's just something that it's like a huge, like a fear for me. Like, I would hate to lose my teeth. Mm-hmm. And he picks up his teeth off of the keypad, the keyboard or whatever, and then he walks into his medicine cabinet in his bathroom, and he's like, oh, another part of the what's his name? Another part of the
Brendel.
Brendel Fly Museum, Natural History, and he puts it on the shelf, and he has like little jars of pieces of things that have fallen off of him.
Yeah, like what was in there?
I don't know. I know one he had his ear just like laying on one of the little cabinet